Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday. As promised, I said we were going to do the oracle cards. Sorry, I forgot to. I am so out of my mind. Oh my goodness. Yikes. It's going to be one of those days. One of those days. Anyway, all right. Oh, that feels so much better. Sorry. Okay. Good morning, older sibling. I'm assuming good morning, Muddy. All right. So this is kind of an impromptu thing, so I don't exactly have a lot of my cards to choose from. So I have the New Orleans Oracle deck. I have For the Love of Dragons, and we have the Self-Awareness Oracles. So I'm going to start from smallest to, well, I kind of want to save the New Orleans one for last because I really love that deck. It's one of my favorite decks. Sorry. Oh, I'm telling you. I'm falling apart. I got to move this. All right. Oh, but first, I got to show you. So yesterday I went out with my friend and she took me to breakfast for my birthday, and she made this for me. It's Mary Poppins, and when she found out they had the penguin patches, she got that one too. I love Mary Poppins, and then she did my name. She was a little upset with how it turned out, but I love it. I love it. So anyways, then she said the no thing, and she says, well, I'm sure you have enough journals. It's like, girl, I don't have enough journals. You can never have enough journals or pens. Right? Not in my world. So anyways, so I told older sibling that I was coloring my hair yesterday. I'm not really sure how it turned out because I'm not sure I washed all of the other stuff out first, but I had a pink on the bottom and a purple on the top. So anyway, it's kind of hard to tell because the rest of my hair is dark, but I thought, hey, if the front is going to gray, let's do fun stuff. So I probably should have picked a more vibrant color or just gone pink all the way. So anyway. Boy, that stuff stains too. I have it all over me. I mean, I was scrubbing myself like crazy mommy dearest, last night. But anyways, all right, I digress. Let's get rolling. So, all right, you know what? Sorry. Again, my brain. I think this is why this is good that we're just, I can't shuffle with that thing on, so put it on later. Anyway. All right. So we have the Soul Truth Self-Awareness cards. La la la. Let's see what we got. Give it one good shuffle and then we'll hand shuffle, or we'll do the shuffle. So, okay. Ooh. Whoops. All right. Let's see what we got. So how is everyone this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are in the world? I hope you are doing well. And I hope the day is kind to you or was kind to you. So, well, that one went rogue. All right, one more shuffle, see what we get. So just as a reminder, these cards they're telling you what they think you should focus on. Wow, my shuffling has been really bad. Either that or it's just oh, there it is. I was either that or it's just eliminating all the cards, but wow, I think we're falling out like crazy. I don't know if you could see that on there, but dang. Dang. All right, so put those back in there. All right, so the first one. To whom am I comparing myself right now? Good morning, Cousin Jeannie. So Jeannie wasn't on yesterday because my uncle hasn't been doing well, and hopefully he is definitely on the mend now. But so we're doing oracles today because the last couple of shows have been pretty heavy. Yesterday I did the I Have a Dream speech from Martin Luther King, and we kind of compared it to the world now. So we're decompressing today. So, to who am I comparing myself right now? What you are able to see in another is only visible because it is within you, ready to be brought out. Shine light on this feeling of not enough and see the truth. All that you need and want is within you. Stop. So today, the soul action is stop comparing and start creating. Now, that goes the same in the opposite direction. A lot of times what annoys us in other people is sometimes a trait that we carry in ourselves and don't realize, or people don't want to tell us, or, because they never know, how you're going to react. Are they going to get, person A or person B that's like, so, but honestly, stop comparing yourself to other people. Seriously, they're them. All right. As I always say, keep your eyes on your own paper. Okay, this is your journey, not their journey. Their journey is theirs. And, I know that for a lot of people, they feel like they haven't, achieved enough at a certain age. They haven't come far enough at a certain age. They haven't done this, that, or the other in a certain age. And if you feel that way, just, instead of looking around and seeing where everybody else is at, look at you. What did you accomplish today? Bring it small. And it's not really small, but bring it into the present. Just, what did you accomplish today? I mean, I can feel my hair on my back. So for me, my accomplishment right now that I'm just going to sit on all day is the fact that my hair is as long as it is. Because everybody knows when I go through a rough patch, I have a tendency to cut my hair. And so, yeah, the fact that it's I can feel it. I can feel it getting longer there. So, I know that something's small to other people and they're going to be like, what? But for me, it's an accomplishment. And there are times when I feel like, wow, I'm this age and I see everyone that is blown by me and, they're retiring soon, or because they put X amount of years into a certain place. And, I had a bit of a different uphill climb. And I don't want to use that as an excuse because a lot of people have gone through the same thing and have pushed forward. But they haven't dealt with what harmed them and they haven't healed it. And sometimes that can, oh, thank you, Muddy. Yeah, it's, okay, so you can see it a little bit more. She's all, I love the color. And she says, my hair looks fantastic and she loves the color. So it's a little bit brighter on that side. So like I said, I tried to do a pink on the bottom and the purple on the top, but it's kind of hard to tell even though I did lighten my hair. I did it safely. All right. I used that color oops stuff. But anyways, I just have naturally dark hair. So I think after I wash it, it might get a little bit lighter. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I washed it, but the more you wash it, the lighter it gets. So anyways, again. So again, all you need is within you. And, I think, so I'm going to share something that my cousin shared with me over the weekend. I have loved to write since I was a kid. And, my cousin was, we were off on a little adventure and we were talking and my cousin Dia was like, she's like, I sit down and I try to write things and I try to put it on paper. And then I think, how does Shelly do this? And I'm like, really? Because I think in my mind, I have such sometimes a low opinion of myself that, I just feel like everybody can do it, right? If I can do it, everybody can do it because I'm not special. And she says, I don't know how you do it. And and I just told her, I said, you know what? Thank you. I needed to hear that because I didn't realize it was hard for other people. I didn't realize it didn't come naturally to other people because we were talking about how, a lot of people try to do this, that, or the other. And she's all, I think what people should put on the front burner basically is to focus in on their talents and just get better and better and better at what they know they're good at. And then if you want to do this over here or that over there, that's great. But she said we should put a bigger focus on what we are good at. And so, and I loved that. So, keep your eyes on your own paper. Don't compare yourself to other people because they are not you. And also, you may be comparing yourself to someone who on the outside looks like they got it all together and on the inside, they may not. So be careful with how you look at things, okay? So just keep your eyes on your own paper, focus on your own life, and if you want to do things or learn new things, learn them. Don't keep putting it off till tomorrow because no one's promised tomorrow, all right? So, am I focused on what I want most? there you go. Feels like it goes with that card. So am I focused on what I want most? One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. Tony Robbins. Today's soul action. What you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments and prioritize? Literally what Dia said. Literally what my cousin Dia said. So there you go. There you go. See? I mean, we literally just covered this, right? It's like, if you want to do all those little other things, do them. But if you have a talent that you really, really love and you're passionate about, just keep growing that talent. Keep learning everything you can learn, about it. And then if, you want to learn a language or you want to do this, then go do it. Those, just because you are focused on one thing doesn't mean that you can't have, branch off into other things. But for the most part, keep your focus on the one thing that you're very good at. Okay. And then, there's something else. If you feel like you've mastered it, move to the next thing. But that doesn't mean you can't do the little things. All right. But what she was trying to say was that, people spend so much time trying this and trying that and trying this and trying that, kind of like the jack of all trades, right? But usually, what is the whole saying? The jack of all trades, master of none. But I sometimes disagree with that, because there are people that are good at pretty much everything. So that being said, do what you need to do, but just be careful that you don't squirrel too much. All right. I squirrel a lot. And in case you don't know what I mean, in the movie Up, and this has actually been a saying for years and years, even before the movie Up, but they had a dog who had a collar that, it could speak what he was thinking, and he'd be like, blah, 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 squirrel. So, now you know why I do that, because I squirrel a lot. So anyways, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? What boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? To create more healthy boundaries, we must first get in tune with our own needs, desires, and feelings, and believe we are worthy of them. In your relationships, it's essential to know where they end and where you begin. Today's soul action. When we separate our energy from others, we gain clarity about what we really want. Then we stop doing things that no longer align with ourselves. If you're an empath and you can still be compassionate towards others without taking on their stuff, it is safe to trust that you are not here to fix anyone. Just like that commercial says, you are not a mechanic. It is not your job to fix him. All right. That was the backup quarterback commercials. It is not your job to fix them. All right. So today's mantra: I have everything I need within me now, and so do they. I am worthy of my needs, and I set boundaries based on what's best for me. I'll put that in the comments. I think what's also important to know and to remember is that when we're setting boundaries, that doesn't mean we're saying, get away from me. It means that you are only willing to put up with so much. Okay? If you have a friend or a family member or whatever that's constantly going, just say, you know what, enough. How old am I? It's like, if you don't like the way I do things, then don't worry about it. Turn around, look the other way. All right? Because I'm not asking for your opinion. I have reached an age now, and, people will say it's an age thing. I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's I've healed thing. And when I healed, when I really started to kind of find myself a little bit more comfortable in my soul, not my body, but my soul. I'm comfortable in my body, but in my soul, I realized that there was only so much I would put up with. And I'm at this place now where I'm not going to be brutally honest where I hurt people, because that's not my goal. And I am an empath, but I've also learned how to not take on their bad energy. And I've also learned to say, hey, you know what? No. All right. Because I need to protect my energy. And I will tell them that I need to protect my energy. And it's like, if you're going to keep doing this and you're going to keep asking and you're not going to listen, what's the point? And sometimes people need that hard truth. That doesn't mean you have to go, you know what, I'm not going to say anything to you anymore because you don't listen, so F off. No, do it gently. And, at least start it gently. And then if they keep coming at you, just say, you know what, I don't want to help you because you don't listen. So, and there's a lot of different ways to set boundaries. Especially with your energy, you can kind of put up a little guard. Just do, we've talked about the ha breathing, which is 7 in, 7 hold, 7 out, 7 hold. And while you're doing the in, you can just imagine yourself in like a white bubble, just like you're growing a bubble of protection, or just this aura of protection to protect your energy, or, if you need something a little more physical, just, like, nope, shutting myself off to you. Now, that doesn't mean you can't listen. And you do have to, oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember, my brain. You do have to figure out if they're coming from a place of pain, emotional pain, or if they're just coming from a place of being stubborn and just need the attention. And sometimes both are just sad things. And I don't mean sad like, oh my God, like just, where you need to show a little bit more compassion. And, because it can be hard, but people can be difficult. We can all be difficult. I can be difficult. But, I know, surprise. No, seriously, I can be difficult. I can be very difficult. But not everybody speaks outwardly. Not everyone shares their feelings. Not everybody realizes that what might be driving one action is a pain from a long time ago. So we just have to approach every situation with compassion and empathy, a little bit of love and a little bit of care. All right. And just kind of discern. That's the word I was looking for. Just discern, where you think this is and if there is a boundary that needs to be set. Because, I know some people just go out of their way to just be rude and be mean. And maybe it's something that's driving them from behind, like like they're not doing it on purpose, but almost like they have their guard up. And they figure they got to be mean to, or just sassy or snarky to protect themselves. That is the wrong way. I will tell you that right now. That's a no-no. Do not do that, because that's how you push people away. So, there are people who will not like your boundaries, and they will be like, well, whatever, F off, I'm out. And that's okay, because you don't need their bad energy, and chances are they'll be back anyway. So don't worry about them. Do not worry about them. All right. So let's get to the dragons. I know. I love this deck. It's so pretty. I mean, look at that, right? They're so pretty. But wait until you see the New Orleans deck. Wow. That one just popped right out before I could even shuffle it. So anyway, wow. I really don't use these cards enough. They are so stiff and my hand hurts, so. Anyway. I have a fourth person on, but I can't see who it is. So, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Wow, that one flipped itself right over in there. Ooh, that looks like a good one. All right, come on. One more shuffle. See if anything comes out. Yep. One more. All right. So we got 3. We're not always going to get 3, but I always know when to stop shuffling. All right, let me put those back really quick. Okay. Okay, okay. All right, let's shuffle these, see what we get. All right, card number 1, the Gila. How pretty that is. I love her stockings. I have some stockings like that. They're my favorites. Let's see, the healer. What is the healer? I mean, it feels obvious, right? Dragons can be helpers, and if you carry dragon's blood in your veins, it's likely you want to leave this planet better than you found it. Just remember the one rule all fierce beings employ before contributing healing services. Offer help to those who are helping themselves. This way you are able to maintain your vitality without leeching it out in the name of dependency. Another healing principle dragons know: you can only meet someone as deeply as they're willing to meet themselves. So, whether you fly high or dive deep, you must understand who and what you are dealing with. Now is the time to employ discernment and offer a healing hand. Oh, offer healing hand in hand, paw and claw. I love that, paw and claw. So, I agree with this, but I also kind of disagree in a small way. I think you can give your energy to other people. Now, remember, first and foremost, if you are a healer, okay, if you're a natural healer, I am a natural healer. But here's the thing that I've learned over the course of time and over learning the things that I've learned. You do not take from anybody. You cannot take anything from them. That is dangerous for you. That is dangerous for your energy. That is dangerous for your body. All right. And a lot of people be like, yeah, whatever. But no, seriously. All right. If you find that you are a healer, or you find that you just naturally, start sending your energy in a direction when people are hurting or are in pain and you don't even realize you're doing it, just remember, just give. All right. Now, if you are a person who believes in a higher power, all right, call on them and ask them to help you, just channel this energy, ask them. So you're not using your energy, you're using their energy. If you believe in archangels, call on Archangel Raphael. He is omnipresent, which means he can be anywhere all at once. All right. So, and then, you just kind of do this, or you can do the palm on palm. And if you want to touch, you can touch. So, but just remember, you're giving. Now, if you are doing a physical healing with somebody, just remember this. Remind them that even if they can't feel your energy coming through when you're palm to palm, all right, or if you're doing Reiki over someone, to imagine this energy working its magic, going through you. I'm going to tell you, okay, that I did this over the weekend and my knee has not hurt it. Like, this is the first time it has felt much better than it has since I went bowling with my family in November, because I have a pretty jacked up knee from a lot of injuries. So, probably mostly self-inflicted because, I'm crazy, but yeah, but it has felt, it still hurts just a tinge, but it has not felt this good and has not had pain in a couple of months. And so to be walking around not feeling it the way I had been, and being able to walk around without the knee brace is like, wow, this is great. So whether you believe in it or not, it's real. All right. We are made of energy. Water and energy is basically our makeup, and then all the other organic stuff that happens to keep the body running like a car. But if you don't have a higher power, then just turn to the purple dragon. Right? Or a green one, because green is symbolically the color of healing. But purple, I think, can be too. So just remember, but do not give your energy away. All right? Do not just sit there and go, oh, yeah, you can have it whenever you want. If you trust the person on the other side and you can say, hey, just take what you need when you need it. Older sibling and I have this, contract of sorts. It's like, I know you're hurt a lot, so if you need it, no matter where I am in the world, just take it, because we are connected. So yeah, you can do distance healing, and if you find yourself to be a natural healer, I don't think it's a bad thing to really kind of take classes that focus on this, like Reiki and all those other things. So, because they can really help you channel it. I needed something to learn how to channel mine, because I had a tendency to, like if my energy got chaotic or whatever, oh, it's Troy. Hi. Okay, you just went the route of the chili peppers. Really? Anyway, okay, Anthony Kiedis with the mohawk. But, anywho, yeah, so, just discern who needs your energy and who gets it, okay? So, tread safely and tread lightly. The next one, the brat. Yeah, that feels fitting. The brat. Although older sibling calls me that a lot. This is funny. Look at the dragon and her. They just look like, he's like, I'm not having any of your business today. I'm going to stay in this cup of tea and I'm going to enjoy it. So go away. Right? And he's just like, I'm enjoying myself. Why you got a bug? Some days you're just going to wake up with a dragon in your teacup and your mouth will taste of scales and wings all day long. But whether it's you or your mini dragon that's feeling bratty, it's in your best interest to befriend rather than resist the brat attack. Moods and emotions, just like dragons, are by their nature full of movement. They're not intended to stick around for very long and don't unless we resist them. As the saying goes, what we resist persists. So whether it's showing up in you or in someone else, let the brat have its moment today. All things must pass and no brat attack lasts forever. I think that goes with healing too. If you resist, it persists. This is really a go with the flow kind of card, yeah? Where it's just kind of like, people are going to have their moments, all right? I mean, if the moments seem to just never end, then, set your boundary, say something, because a lot of times people don't realize they're doing this. I always tell people, since I've healed, I've gotten a lot better at constructive criticism. So I tell people, it's like, look, if I'm being this way, you have to tell me so I can fix it, so I can change it. It's like, don't hold back. And even if it hurts, even if it's like, oh God, it's like, am I still doing that? Jeez. And a lot of times I'll make a face, and I don't mean to, but I kind of answer with my face before I answer with my mouth. And I will say this has gotten me out of 2 jury duties, because I can't help it. It's just like, and I was just kind of like, so, but, a lot of times if someone tells me something, I'll be like, and it's because I'm thinking. That's my thinking face. I look like a 3-year-old who's constipated. But yeah, just, sometimes you have to take the criticism and don't really look at it. I mean, we call it constructive criticism, but I think it's just someone gently nudging you out of your brat attack, and pushing you in that direction of fixing whatever poor behavior this is. And if it's just one of those days, most people are going to notice. They're just going to be like, are you not doing well today? And if someone says like, are you okay? Just like, I'm fine, it's fine, whatever, leave me alone. Because I know sometimes people are relentless, right? They will not give up until you tell them. So just tell them. Somebody is literally reaching out to you, asking you if you are okay. And they're taking time to check on you. And if it's a long story, just say, it's a long story, but in a nutshell. And who knows, you may just end up telling them what is on your mind that day, what is hurting you. And sometimes talking it out can make you feel better. It just, because it kind of lifts it off of you and puts it out into the ether for it to disappear. All right. So if someone's having a brat attack or you are having a brat attack, just lean into it. And then just let it go. All right. So the last one. Ooh, the lovers. I know. Like, I couldn't say that normally, right? Like the lovers. No, it's like the lovers. So anyways. Oh, look at them. Their little tails are intertwined. They're like, yeah, I love you. Mm-hmm. Number 32. This moment is all about love, not just any love, but true, balanced love. Between friends, family, or lovers, this relationship is one of equals, mutually invested in their own sovereignty and in the other's well-being and success. These two souls are connected in love and are willing to do their own individual work in the world. This is a partnership balanced in reciprocity and responsibility. Celebrate it, honor it, endeavor to keep the balance of mutuality alive, as this kind of love is highly creative and has the power like dragons to shape the world. That is a true partnership, whether it is, as it says, between family, friends, or lovers. Especially, family and friends usually have this down, for the most part. I really feel like this card is aimed at the lovers, a truly balanced relationship. I mean, come on. We all know that it's going to tilt in different directions. It might feel like it breaks sometimes, or maybe it stretches too far because, nobody's perfect. We're all going to have those moments where we just kind of like, and then maybe you argue. Never go to bed angry. Okay. I know people say that all the time, but really don't. Just don't go to bed angry. If you want to talk about it the next day, talk about it the next day. But I highly suggest that you resolve things before you go to bed. Because sometimes it can just fester and it can seethe. You might start thinking about things. They may wake up after you and you're just kind of like, because they're not up yet. And then who wants to start their morning fighting? So just, talk it out. Don't sit there and go, nothing, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. Because that's not going to resolve anything. All right? No, that will not. Seriously. I mean, how old are we? We should know this by now. But when it comes to the well-being of your person and you, there should be a good balance there. There should be this, as it says, this mutual, keeping the balance of mutuality alive, but also, be your own person. But, also, don't just be your own person, but be your own person and be so comfortable in being your own person that if your significant other, or your family member, or your brother, or your sister, or whoever has an achievement, that you're not jealous of it. You're proud of them. And it's kind of like, don't sit there and go, well, I wish I could have done that. It's like, you can do whatever you want in this world. That's up to you. But feel good enough in yourself. This, in a way, this is a self-love card. It's telling you to know who you are, because when you are comfortable being in the body you are in, you are not looking for other people to notice what you're doing. You're not looking for other people to see what you are up to. You're just living your life. And if they see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. It doesn't matter. Because what's important is that you are bringing joy to yourself. And when you bring joy to yourself, you are able to share it with the rest of the world. You're able to share it with the world around you, with the people around you. Okay, so the lovers. Now, let's move on to okay, so I love all of my Oracle decks. And especially love the dragons. But the first time I ever saw the New Orleans deck, I about died. Because it is so vibrant and so beautiful. Here's the cover. So, and that doesn't even touch base on where it is. So, let's see. I'm going to read you what the deck is about. Okay, so about the deck. Welcome, beautiful souls. This deck was channeled and created to help support those who want to gain a deeper connection to the highest parts of themselves and the universal energy that connects us all. The culture of New Orleans plays a significant role in developing this deck. New Orleans is a place that inspires people to discover, accept, and fully express themselves. We live in a time when looking outside of ourselves for confirmation has become the norm. This oracle deck was created as a tool to bring back the comfort of going within to listen and grow in our self-trust. It is meant to support the oneness and balance of intuition and intellectual energy. It does so by guiding you to tap into unconditional love and divine energy to support the highest version of yourself. We all carry our guidance within, and we are all connected to the divine source of energy. May this deck help you step into the light and the awakening of yourself, which is undoubtedly already beginning to unfold. May all that you have been seeking be found, and so it is. And she also, what do you call it? Oh, you know what? So yeah, there you go. And like I said, it's just a fantastic deck. So, I mean, just look at all the colors, right? I mean, it's like you just hold it out like this, and it's like a rainbow. Ooh, look at that. Madame Laveau. She does not want to be ignored. All right, we're going to pull her out. If anybody knew who she was, it was her. She is number 1, power. All right, so we'll get to her. We're going to pull some cards, and then we're going to shuffle to see what. And it was funny because she's, obviously, since she's number 1, she's the first in the book. And I saw it, and then when I pulled that out, the cards were slipping this way, and it's just like, oh, she will not be ignored today. All right. Oops. Okay, there's one. Either that or maybe she's just watching over the reading. All right, you know what? I feel like I should have done that first. All right. One came out, but I don't know what's happening. Nothing seems to want to come out. Maybe it's just, wow. That's a lot. Holy moly. All right. So we might just go through those just fast. So this is funny. Focus. What were we just talking about? Focus, right? Focus, power. And then we have abundance. So we're just going to, you know what? I'm going to pull one from here, and that'll be our, actually I'll pull two. That'll be our 2 cards for the rest of the time. Okay. But self-care, you need some self-care. All right. So if you were seeing this card, you need to start taking care of yourself because you are probably exhausted. You are, you are drained, whatever it is, whether it's mentally, physically, or both. Get out there and practice some self-care. Okay. Duality. Sometimes, we live 2 separate lives. There might be our outer person that the world sees and the inner person. It is not bad to bring these together. All right. Like for me, I had my inner floof, which was kind of like, I need healing. And then the outer me, which was kind of like the fake it till you make it. And when I brought them both together, it was kind of like, wow, it was mind blowing because it was like, holy moly, I see myself for the first time and I really like who I see. And I need to keep it that way. So there you go. Duality and abundance. If you needed a sign, there it is. Now, remember, abundance isn't always about money. Abundance is abundance in love, abundance in friendship, abundance in family, abundance in health. I mean, it could also be because it is the golden chalice about, that your finances will be okay. All right. You just got to trust. If you do not trust and you continually have that underlying icky feeling like nothing is ever going to get better, it won't. Okay. I hate to say that, but it won't. So you have to change your vibe to make things happen. All right. So change your vibe to make things happen. All right. We have 4 cards left. These we're going to read on. Speak your truth. Oh, that's my favorite one so far. I am not having a problem speaking my truth lately. And I love all the butterflies. Oh, I love all the butterflies. Butterflies are a symbol of transformation, right? You start out as a caterpillar, you get all gooey and you're cocoon and kind of icky. And then you push together and poof, you're a butterfly. You push out of that cocoon and you're just like, so there you go. Speak your truth. All right. Let's see what Speak Your Truth has to say. Number 22. 22 is a good number, which is funny because that's my life path number. I have a master number. So anyways, speak your truth. Being aware of your feelings is one thing, but learning how to express how you feel in a calm and balanced manner can sometimes be a challenge. Agreed. It is important to understand that speaking your truth does not mean that it will be understood or accepted by others, and it doesn't need to be. The only thing that matters is that you are able to give your feelings a voice and acknowledge how you truly feel. The more you are able to acknowledge and identify how you genuinely feel, the stronger the relationship you have with yourself will become. It is not about being right or wrong. It is simply about knowing and practicing what it means to honor yourself through verbal communication. Now is the time to speak your truth freely. It's not just your truth. I know a lot of times, we walk down certain paths and we're afraid to talk about it to people because they might roll their eyes. They might be like, la, la, la. The thing I went to this week and it talked about the 9 principles of freedom. And, it was interesting. It was very metaphysically based, or spiritually based, if you will. And the first one was bravery. The first principle was bravery. The first 3 was bravery, love, and service. But bravery was the hardest. And they said, if you tell someone where you were today, that's bravery because, a lot of people are not receptive to the things that we might believe in, or even if you're religious, sometimes you'd be like, well, like God. And I mean, My father is an atheist slash agnostic, and I've said this before, depending on the day. And every time he watches sports or we watch sports and he hears someone, I want to thank God, he's like, he ain't there. It's just like, he's making these comments, and it's like, this is their belief. But I don't say anything. I just kind of sit there like, that's my dad. And he's not saying it to the person, and he would never say it to the person, because he's more respectful that way. But when it's the TV, it's like, yeah, whatever, please stop it. He had nothing to do with it. And, so it's all that. But it's like, no, they're noting their faith, right? And that's the same, but the same goes for people who don't follow the traditional course of religion, like me. And you tell people your beliefs, you tell people about your spiritual table, or you even say, well, there's only one God, right? That's usually the response I get. There's only one God. And it's like, so there are 1,000 religions out there, right? And you're telling me they all believe in the same one? Not happening, because it ain't true. They believe in different things, all right? But there are some people like that, and they'll either tell you you're going to hell, or they'll roll their eyes at you. And, so then you kind of feel like, well, I don't want to speak my truth anymore. It took bravery to do that. And I'm at the point now where when people sit there and question me, it's just like, you know what? You believe what you believe, and I'll believe what I believe. But what I believe is none of your business. We were talking about something, I was sharing something, and if you're sharing it like on social media and someone has something to say, just ignore them. Ignore the haters, okay? Because they're always out there. There's always someone out there ready to question who you are and what you believe in, because maybe they don't know their path. Maybe they don't know who they are or where they fit. And, and so I become a little bit more vocal. I'm not hiding who I am anymore, even on the show. Excuse me, even on the show. You've noticed that, see? You see what happened there when I started sharing that? Whatever. That one part of me that needs to be healed is sitting there going, no, don't talk about it. You get, when you know me, you get who you get. I will always do my best to be a good person. I will always do my best to be honest, not brutally honest. I can be sometimes, and I realize that hurts people. And that was part of my healing process, because that was a hurt person hurting people. And I don't want to be that person. You get farther. What is it? Older sibling says, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar, or shit, as she said. But actually shit does work a lot. So, but still, if you take that aside, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. And you can help people through through their stuff. So don't give up on them. Don't give up on yourself, but speak your truth. All right. Ooh, we got her. Madame Laveau, the voodoo priestess of New Orleans. Now, the interesting thing about Madame Laveau, she was actually a devout Catholic. Many people don't know that. She was a devout Catholic. And I may be wrong, and so don't quote me on this, all right? I should have probably looked this up, but I am pretty positive that Santeria and voodoo are kind of based in Catholicism, mysticism of sorts. I'm not 100% sure, but now I'm going to go look this up after. But anyways, Madame Laveau was the epitome of power and grace within the community of New Orleans. Not only was she known as an astute businesswoman, but she was also the go-to person for the spiritual remedies of everyday life. If you have drawn this card, you have been called to embrace all aspects of yourself and to rise to every occasion with confidence. With confidence. You are so much more than the mundane daily tasks that often bog you down. New opportunities will help you explore the different ways you can express yourself and feel more fulfilled. She is telling you you are ready. You do not need to be afraid of the world. This is a woman who was a devout Catholic, but also, again, the woman who met the spiritual needs of her community. And she didn't care. She was a businesswoman in a time when people of color were not business people, especially women. So, Sammy says I'm right. They are really closely tied in with the Catholic beliefs. Yeah, I believe Santeria is Latin, or South, like I don't know. when they say, you say Hispanics, and it's like you sometimes get it wrong. So we'll say the Latinos and the Hispanics, all right? But, you know, like, we'll say the Spanish speaking countries. And then voodoo is a little bit more, like Caribbean Catholicism, probably. So, they're based more in those, right? I'm pretty sure that's right, because I think Madame Laveau may have been along the lines of Caribbean. So, but anyways, I love her. I love her. 100%. Don't get on her bad side. And I think the only way you can get on her bad side is, you know, by not following your true path. If you'll notice, she's wearing a snake around her neck. Now, a lot of people be like, oh, that's evil. I think that's confidence. Because not only is she wearing a snake around her neck, she's wearing basically a constrictor around her neck. But she is trusting this animal to not kill her, to not harm her. And if you see, the snake looks like he's looking up at her. Now, in a lot of teachings of religion, snakes are bad, snakes are evil. I love snakes. I think they're adorable. Not the poisonous ones, thank you very much. But, you know, I guess, well, the constrictors can still kill you. But they have a very calm temperament, unless you piss them off. All right, but come on, even a rattlesnake will warn you before he bites. He will shake his rattler. You hear that rattler, head off in the other direction. Don't sit there and go, oh, hey, can I pet you? Or, hell, I'm bigger than you, I'll get you. It's like, yeah, you know what? These mofos are fast. Next thing you know, you're on the ground and someone's trying to suck poison out of you, which is apparently not the right thing to do. You tie it off and try to squeeze it out. Because otherwise, if you try to suck the poison out, guess what? You're going to be sucking it into yourself. So Google the proper way to handle these things, okay? Anyways, so mind her, all right? Because she's a beautiful soul. Oh, I'm going to save that one for last. That was so from my mommy. Focus. Focus. Were we not talking about this earlier? Focus. Place your focus in a general direction that you want. Oh, look at that. I opened up right to it. How about that? Everything is energy, including your thoughts. Think of your thoughts as different cars driving by. You have somewhere that you need to travel to, and you have the choice of any vehicle that passes. Would you want to get into every car, or would you select the one that seems the best equipped to get you to your destination? Every thought can be a step either towards forward movement or stagnation. If this card came up in your reading, it is because you must pay attention to where you allow your focus to lead your thoughts. Being aware of where you put your energy, mentally and emotionally, will enable you to create a more self-empowered journey. It is time to not only realize that you have a choice about where you focus your energy, but to also see how those thoughts are affecting your energy. All right. So this is exactly what my cousin was saying earlier too. You know, focus on the things that you're really good at. And then if you want, you know, just kind of do the other things as like a side thing. But this puts it perfectly. You see a million cars going by, but you know, you're like, you can't get into every single one of them, right? You're going to get into the one that best suits your needs, that is best equipped to get you from point A to point B. You're not going to get into the car that, you know, needs to stop and charge every 2 seconds. No, because that's not going to get you where you want to go. Those could be the other little things that you like to do. If you like to paint, but you're not very good at it, just go. You know, you don't have to be great at it, but it's something you love to do, and putting that on the canvas. I love painting, but I am not an artist. Not by any stretch of the imagination. That's why I color in coloring books. I can put colors together, but I cannot draw to save my life. But, so yeah, but it's something I enjoy. It's something I love, and it's something that ultimately does bring me joy, but it's not a talent of mine. So, you know, put your focus on what you really want to create, on the big picture, and then, you know, just do little ancillary things that do bring you joy, that will help fuel this main focus of yours. All right. Last but not least, and it's card number 33, another master number. Wow, that's wild. The dragonfly. Every time I see a dragonfly, as you can note on my wrist, That's for my mom. Every time I see a dragonfly, I think of my mother. And, you know, I know this is her. I know this is her. So create your reality. Create your reality. We have had all the cards today that point to this. What you can do, how to set boundaries. You have a very strong woman telling you you are capable of anything. Another card saying, you know what, focus. And another card that says, speak your truth. Don't worry about what other people think, right? I mean, the best quote older sibling ever taught me was, what other people think of you is none of your business. What other people think of you is none of your business. And it's not, because they don't know you, and if they do know you, they don't know you well enough to just look at you and say, you know what? Hey, that's cool. If that's the path you want to go down, I'm behind you. No, instead they're going to be judgy. And a lot of times they might be judgy simply based on the fact that they may have followed the comfortable path. They may have gone down the comfortable path. They didn't go down the path that suited their needs. They went down the path of expectations from everybody else. And you have to decide which one of those you are. It's, sorry, I don't know what that was. You have to know that where you belong is where you're most comfortable. And you have to be comfortable in yourself first. So the dragonfly is about perception, illusion, and transformation in mental energy. You have pulled this card because you've grown stronger in your manifestation skills, and it is necessary to pay attention to where you choose to focus your thoughts and energy. Think about what you want, not about what you don't want. Has a recent situation not been to your liking and led you to focus on what is lacking as opposed to what is abundant? There are often triggers that can tempt us to dwell on what we don't want. But when the dragonfly shows up, it's letting us know that we've grown beyond the thoughts that control us. It is now time to mindfully choose what you will focus on as you move forward in your life. Now, isn't that great? Focus and create your reality both came up. If you are a person that is trying to manifest abundance or prosperity, if you are constantly in lack mode, or you're thinking, you know, you might sit there and do your affirmations, you might sit there and listen to the affirmations while you sleep on those subliminal beats and everything, and but if you wake up and go, oh, my bank account says this, you have just negated every piece of work you did. Wake up feeling good. Wake up knowing what is meant to be yours. There's enough in this universe to manifest for everybody. Okay? That first and foremost. I think a lot of people think, well, I don't think I deserve that, or I don't think I deserve more than this. A lot of it is feeling too. Your nervous system has a lot to do with it. Your brain may be going, oh, la la la, and your nervous system may be feeling nervous, like, no, I don't think I can handle this. You got to get those two tied together. You got to heal one to help the other work. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I know this was a long one, but thank you for hanging in there. Tomorrow, I think we'll go simple. Maybe we'll do an affirmators and the mindful messages for Self-Care Wednesday. Okay. So I hope everybody has, again, a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelly Marie Lucas. I think Troy went away already, but Jeannie, Muddy, older sibling, thank you all for popping on and for just hanging in there. I know this was a bit of a different kind of reading. And we don't normally do oracles at the beginning of the week, which means we're going to have Supernatural Thursday again. This time I think I will focus in on Southern California, or at least San Diego. So yeah, I'm really enjoying those because I get to learn all these different stories about all these different places. So anyways, again, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you again so much for watching. You can catch me on YouTube and across the social media board. It's like the root of all things, right? It starts at YouTube and spreads everywhere else. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.